Broadcasting live from the Jet Surf Houston studio. A show immersed in the people, extreme water sports, real estate, live music, yacht clubs, kayaking, canoeing, the lifestyle of the waterfront capital of Texas. Did we mention there's a lot of boating and sailing? Oh, no. Wait. No, that's... Can we cut that? I think I'm seasick. Let's go! Weekends on the water with veteran and professional extreme water sport athlete Jordan Davlin of Jet Surf Houston and Scene Magazine publisher John Ennis.
That is right. This is Weekends in the Water, but we're not coming to you live from the 4,000 square foot Jet Surf Houston studio and showroom along the North Shore of Clear Lake, as we have crossed the Clear Creek Channel into beautiful Kemah and are on the south side of Clear Lake in the very gorgeous and hidden Kemah Gardens event facility and bed and breakfast where relationships flourish. As always, my name is John Ennis, and I'm proud to be joined by Army veteran, extreme water sports competitor, and Jet Surf Houston founder Jordan Davlin. How goes it, Jordan?
Hey, John. What's going on, brother? Happy to be here tonight. Man, super excited about this episode.
Super excited about this episode because we're at a venue that I've heard so many good things about for so many years, but I have to admit, I have not been here yet.
I have not either. Anytime we can get out of the studio and come to such a beautiful location like this and go live from the spot is just amazing. So thank you so much for having us, and I guess that'll bring us to our special guest for tonight.
Very special guest.
We have the owner of Kemah Gardens here, Cydia Rabicki. So we are so happy you came on the show tonight.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Of course, yeah.
I'm a little nervous, so bear with me.
Oh,
this is the first
yeah,
time
yeah.
I get the shitters when
That's
I
natural.
get in front of a microphone.
Of course. So tell us a little bit about our view right here. So speaking of Weekends on the Water, we have this amazing lake right here outside the window where we're coming to you live from. What a beautiful spot, and definitely works with the Weekends on the Water theme. I'm sure that is a big selling point to this amazing venue. People love to have water.
Yes, most of our couples choose Kemah Gardens because of the water feature and that we are kind of in a residential area.
Yeah.
We have 4 acres, lots of trees, especially during spring through fall. Everything is nice and green.
Yeah.
So they like the outdoor garden and the private part of it. We're on about 4.3 acres, and we have the lake is about a third of an acre. It's about 2 to 3 feet in depth around the edges and 9 feet in the middle.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned it's a residential area. And we did pass some houses on the way in here, although then we hit a gate. And then we entered the gate, and I feel like I'm in a whole nother place.
It opens up.
Yeah, it's really a hidden gem.
It is.
Yeah.
And getting the word out is very expensive because advertising is...
Of course, yeah.
So,
John knows a little bit about that.
Yes, yeah. And plus, I don't get much time to get out to networking events because I have my hands full with the property since I'm the full-time event coordinator.
Right.
Plus, we have another property in Canyon Lake, which we
nice.
call the water recreation capital of Texas.
There you go.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you
So
go, there
there's
you go.
some symmetry going on here.
Yes, yes. The horseshoe portion of the Guadalupe River is just 4 miles from our cabins.
Oh,
and
wow.
we
So,
are
yeah,
2
everybody
blocks
knows
to
that
the
spot,
lake.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I just recently, this past summer, celebrated my in-laws' 50th anniversary. And so we had 4 families, all the kids, all the grandkids, and we all, went up to the water recreation area you mentioned, and kind of the Canyon Lake, Guadalupe area. Yeah. And, a little bit outside of New Braunfels. Yeah. Loved it.
very
Great
nice.
experience.
Yeah, it's fun, even if you don't get a chance to float, to just drive down the Guadalupe and just see people floating or, over by the Co-Mall. I mean, it's amazing. What a good time. I'm actually due up for a little floatoon, I think,
There you go.
Got to get out there.
We definitely floated. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
I can hook you up with a nice cabin.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
We will talk.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, Canyon Lake is a real gem. Just pristine water, just beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize how pretty it really is. My family actually used to have a house up there. My grandparents retired out there, and so I remember it more as a child, not so much as an adult. But definitely might take you up on that cabin. Yeah.
Well, one last funny story about the Guadalupe. So, I grew up going there all through college, went there with buddies. then, eventually got married, and I thought that would be a good spot to go with my wife on my new wife on our honeymoon. And it's funny how, going with your buddies, but then, just you and your wife. And of course, that was a year that the water was a little low. So we ended up walking, and she got burnt to a crisp. And,
oh, no.
Yeah. So, maybe honeymoon fail a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had good intentions.
Yeah. That's funny. So tell us, a little bit of the history of how you kind of, got into this amazing property and what made you, if you have come from a past line of, doing venues or event planning, things like this, or if it's just something you just wanted to do, or just tell us a little bit about how this thing all started.
Okay. Well, it's a long story, but I'll try to be as condensed as possible. I am an accountant by degree, but I've got a lot of different backgrounds. I came to the U.S. when I was 5 years old. We came from Mexico. I didn't speak a word of English. We lived in Florida, but we traveled throughout the United States. We followed the crops, picking tomatoes, cucumbers, cherries, strawberries. My junior and sophomore year in high school, we stopped traveling because I got a job at the local shoe store at the mall.
Okay.
And before that, I had started working at Baskin Robbins. That was my first corporate job.
Nice.
That was mine as well.
Over the years, I went to school at UT. I went to school on scholarship, but my sophomore year at UT, my second semester as a sophomore, I made 5 Fs. So
I've been there.
People,
slightly distracted, or
it happens.
Yeah.
I did not know this when I was at that age, but I think I severely suffer from ADHD and OCD. And so my husband jokes about it, but it is the honest truth because I can't concentrate because I'm always thinking of new ideas and what else can I do here and what can I do over there. And I tell him, it's like, you know what I've been thinking about? And he's going, oh my God, please don't give me one more task on my to-do list. And so it all started, I was working for Shell downtown, and I came into work on that Monday and went to the coffee shop, and there was a couple ladies there, what we call the water cooler conversation, and one of them said that they had gone to Schlitterbahn over the weekend for a last-minute getaway, and they couldn't find a place where to stay anywhere near Schlitterbahn. They had to stay in San Marcos. So I came home, and I told my husband, because that was an area that we had talked about for many years, wanting to retire in that area. So I said, we need to go down there and purchase an acre of land and put a couple cottages that we can rent out on the weekends, and then when we want to go, we have a place where to stay. And so he wasn't quite on board with the idea, but a couple months went by, and December came around, and we decided to make a trip up there for his birthday, and we stayed at a little cabin on the Guadalupe River. It was the Rio Guadalupe Cabins and RV Park.
Okay.
And so we stayed there. Unfortunately, my mom got really sick that weekend, and I had to pick up and leave. I met with my sisters in San Marcos. My husband stayed behind, and we met with a realtor, or he did. And he told him what idea I had, and he said, well, I do have a couple of properties that I have available on the market. And it was 5 acres with the 8 cabins. Wow. And so we looked at them. We went back to look at them a couple months after that. My mom continued to be sick. She moved to Houston, lived with us for a few months, and she ended up passing away like 3 months later. And so we were on our way to Europe, and we were at the Atlanta airport when we saw that there was flooding in the Canyon Lake area, and there was even parts of houses floating down the Guadalupe River.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And so I told my husband, I said, you know what, those cabins that we've been talking about, that we decided we didn't want to do anything. Now's the time to buy them.
Yeah.
Because they're 2-bedroom, 2-bath, they're fully furnished, and people that are displaced out of their homes, their insurance is going to pay for that.
Right.
And so that's what we did. We called a realtor. We placed an offer. We don't know how it happened, but owner financing. I borrowed money from a credit card to put our down payment.
Wow.
And we purchased him in September of 2002.
Okay.
So 21 years. So
My
a few
goodness.
years after that, I traveled to Montreal with my husband. He was up there for the aerospace conference. He was speaking at the conference.
Oh, wow.
And so we stayed at a bed and breakfast. And so I came back and I said, this is what I want to do with the cabins. I wanted to convert them into a bed and breakfast type atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to go to Canyon Lake to run the business, but my husband was against the idea. So one weekend, he is leaving for Switzerland, and I opened up the Sunday paper, and in the Sunday paper, there was a little travel insert that had all the touristy information about Kemah, Seabrook, Nassau Bay. And I thought, you know what? Maybe I need to purchase a property in Kemah or somewhere near here and do the bed and breakfast. That way I won't have to move to Canyon Lake, because my husband was working at the NASA Center at that time. And so I got on the internet and started doing research, houses for sale in Kemah, and I ran across this property. So a week
Which is
later,
very unique.
Yeah. A week later, when my husband returned from his trip, I told him, that was on a Saturday night, I said, tomorrow after church, we're going to go look at this property. And he said, why are we looking at a property? I didn't know we were moving. I said, well, you know that bed and breakfast that I've been talking about? I said, this property is ideal for that. And so it was on Mother's Day Sunday after church. We came to look at it. We fell in love with the property. We walked it. We told the owners what we wanted to do with it, and they were very happy to know what.
Right, yeah, property like this, I can see that, and you've run into that where sometimes they do care about.
Oh, they definitely, sellers care about what people are going to do with it.
They're going to rip out the kitchen I spent so much time on, or what I mean? Yeah, it kind of matters, yeah.
Well, and sellers,
it's a dream home, so, yeah.
So my idea was to quit my job and do QuickBooks for a living. It's been 17 years, and I still don't know QuickBooks.
Who does, yeah.
So it was all to just do bed and breakfast and small weddings. And after a few weddings started getting bigger, from 30 to 50 to 70 to 100, and having to deal with the elements and rain. And the summer months, we decided that it was time to invest in our building and be able to accommodate larger events. And with time, we started off with just the metal roof, the concrete floor, and with time, I was very stressed because I couldn't do a lot of the setup until the day of the event, because you got dust, you got wind, you got rain, the heat, the winter, that kind of stuff. And so we decided to enclose it. Yeah. Put AC and heat, and then over the years we added
everywhere,
the little patio, and so here we are.
Man, you would never know this was started out as just a metal building.
I know, definitely
right.
not. Yeah,
Congratulations.
I was really shocked when you
well
said
executed.
That. Yeah, no, and that's how it in pieces sometimes, but yeah, this is just an absolutely amazing facility we're in right now.
So originally, I guess there was the house, and and then
yes, it was just the house, the pond, and the deck. And then we added the building. We did a connecting walkway.
Redid the deck, you said earlier.
And now, because we have so much activity and traffic going in and out of the house, it's not private or quiet enough for people to spend the night. So we have just purchased the little house next door to us.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Congratulations.
We are in the final stages of remodeling, with hopes to add that to the experience for the couples that want to stay in Kemah on the weekends.
Of course, yeah. And when you say next door, literally next door, Cydia?
Yes.
So when you leave out the gate, right to the left?
Well, as you come in to the through the gates, it's to the right.
Okay. Right, from the other direction.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Excellent.
Yeah. And then back to, so you were talking about kind of numbers and what you guys can accommodate. So let everybody know what, this building can hold. And then I know there's the additional grounds where you can do outdoor areas and seating, and I'm sure they can bring in a dance floor and all sorts of stuff. So yeah.
Indoors, we can seat up to 150 people.
Okay, that which
and
definitely
we have
makes sense.
The little patio that's adjacent to the enclosed room, we can seat 60 to 70 people.
Okay.
We have done events for 500 people. I don't know if
Wow.
you guys are familiar with BIC Alliance.
Oh, yeah,
They
yeah.
have the big
Earl
publication
and yeah.
that goes out
Real
to
Herd,
the
yeah.
petrochemical industry. We partnered up. I'm trying to think. It was like 2011 or 2012. They did their first crawfish vendor appreciation event here.
See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm
We
thinking
had
I'm doing a crawfish bowl here.
We had about 300 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
The second year, we had close to 600. The third year, their RSVP list was topping 1,100.
Wow. Was there 1,100 people here?
No.
Okay.
When I told my friend Teresa Vinso, who used to own Tad Acres, when I told her that story, she said, "What did you do?" I said, "I didn't do anything about it. I just prayed about it, and God sent us a little bit of rain that day, so a lot of people stayed home."
Wow, yeah.
But throughout the day, we probably had close to 800 people coming out.
goodness.
Because
Wow.
it
Yeah.
was like an event from like 2 to 8.
Yeah.
And they handle all the logistics. They had a 120 by 40 tent, Zydeco band. They rented the trolleys like they have at Space Center. And
Okay.
they shuttle people over from 518 and Andrew.
Okay, I was
Shuttle them
curious
over
about
here.
that. Yeah, so there's options for that. You can, set people up with transportation and stuff. So, and so many people Uber these days. I'm sure there was just a lot of people using Uber and stuff like that. So, yeah, I can definitely see some festivities out here. Tents, like you said. I can see the band. Just people walking around, just enjoying the water, having some cocktails. So. Yeah, no, it's really amazing, and I'm happy the sun hasn't gone down, so we can still kind of
it's
see
really
it
pretty
and
out right
enjoy it.
now,
It
right?
really
This is like the
yeah.
magic hour.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's perfect.
I don't know. I've been thinking about bringing Willie Nelson.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, that'd be a hit. Yeah,
I think you'd get a crowd for that.
yeah.
Or a George Strait wannabe.
There you go. Yeah.
no.
Maybe you guys can hook me up with a...
There's got to be somebody that's almost as famous as him, just as a tribute singer, right?
Yes.
So.
Because you all obviously have the wedding ceremonies and receptions, team building events,
Yeah.
family school reunions, corporate and church retreats.
Yeah, the church retreats. is
Celebration of life ceremonies. Client and employee appreciation events, kind of like the BIC Alliance event that you mentioned, and then school banquets and fundraisers. I know we recently had Dash Gordon on the show.
Yeah, that's right,
And he had
yeah.
a very successful event here, not too long ago.
And I know,
Yes,
you
and-
guys are working very closely together. Yeah.
Yes, and we're actually going to have his second fundraising event here next Thursday.
Oh,
April
excellent.
20th. It's Dash into the 80s.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
that's right.
Oh, that just sounds like
Yeah.
fun.
No, yeah, he was telling me all about the. He wants me to get a crazy costume and the whole nine.
80s
So
theme?
That's it.
Oh,
man,
man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it
so
should
fun.
be fun. So that is, you said April 20th.
Thursday, April
Yeah.
20th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, right around the corner.
A week
Yeah.
from tomorrow.
That's it.
But
yeah.
it was by ticket only, and it's already
Sold out.
Oh,
Okay.
man,
All right.
yeah.
So you'll have to go to the next one if you're listening. 'Cause this one's sold out. Nice.
Man, that's really good though. that you guys sold them out like
That's
that. So
that's
yeah.
spectacular. That's awesome.
I'm sure there will be plenty and plenty more events in the future with Dash. So
we told
very
him
cool.
my goal was to partner up with him and do one every quarter.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the perfect amount of time, something to stick by. So yeah, that gives him time to plan things out. Yeah, it should be good. He's got so many things going on right now, so he definitely needs venues and partners and stuff to make these things happen. So I'm sure he's super pleased to be able to come here and be able to host some of these cool events for the cause.
So what what is I guess the next step is you mentioned that you're adding another property that'll kind of be more of a bed and breakfast opportunity, because you've kind of sounds like you've kind of transferred out of having the bed and breakfast at the main house. So, is there, and I guess you also mentioned maybe at some point, maybe doing some concerts, with, Willie or somebody else, what's the ultimate goal? What do you see on the horizon for this beautiful venue?
Possibly partner up with a chef.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
To do couples dinners, date nights, maybe a food truck to come and have something here on the weekends that we don't have anything going on, that we could plan out like a month out, because a lot of people, unless it's a wedding or a graduation or something a little bit more formal, people don't make their plans
True.
that far out.
I'm thinking I want to do like a wine mixer here or something
Yes.
like that,
Wine
like
tasting.
wine tasting. Yeah, I can see that being really nice.
No, I mean, this is a perfect venue for almost anything. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you mentioned beer garden at one point.
I'm down with the beer garden
Little
too.
craft beer event.
Mini
Yeah.
golf.
Mini golf. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got lots of space for mini golf.
Yeah. You could do what is it called where you toss the bags?
Hockey sack.
Yeah, or the bean
know why I
bags.
can't
What's that
think of it
called?
right
Yeah.
now.
Cornhole toss.
Cornhole, that's
cornhole.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I can see some serious cornhole going on out here. You could have like
do anything here.
You could do like a state badminton competition, like state level. You could have like a whole badminton court set up, like
The whole tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you
the
can do
Kima
anything.
Invitational.
I think Gary, he's actually volunteered me several times to ride a jet surfboard in the pond. So we'll see if one day if that'll happen. I told him I'd talk to you first, but
We actually had a couple that had a canoe.
really,
Okay.
Their
Oh,
ceremony,
cute.
they went around. And
Wow,
Oh,
very
that's cool.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
And
No, I've looked at I've visited the website. Go ahead and plug the website if
of
you
course.
don't mind. Yeah, or yeah,
very easy, KimaGardens.com.
there it is. Yeah,
like
I
it.
knew I had
Keep
it, but
simple. Yeah,
I actually bought the .com name before we bought the property.
so smart.
Well played.
Smart. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
that's the way to do it. Awesome. But yeah, and on the website you'll see so many photos of so many events and people just having a blast here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to post some here after the show as well. I was telling Siri when I walked up that I saw the online photos, but it's so different when you're able to kind of walk in and see it in person. So
Oh,
can
absolutely.
really appreciate it. Yeah. So you have the event with Dash Gordon coming up on the 20th. What else is in the works that's fun? And you probably mentioned a few earlier, but what is some stuff that...
I've been working with Gary Bolton.
That's right, yeah, so of course.
He
That's
and
how
I
we
have-
met, by the way.
We have a lot in common. Both he and I have had neck injuries.
Oh, okay.
I just recently had my second neck surgery a year ago in January. I
You
had
might have mentioned that at the pizza place a few weeks
C4 to
back.
C7 fused.
Oh, wow.
I had knee replacement surgery in December. So Dash and I have something in common because I'm a bionic woman and he's a superhero.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're working with Gary on doing another fundraising event here in May.
Okay.
We have originally thought about doing it May 7th, but we're going to change it to May 13th. It's
Right.
around the anniversary of his accident.
Right.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that is the anniversary of us coming to see Kima Gardens for the very first time.
Oh,
wow,
okay.
Yeah, so no,
Nice.
I definitely think that ties in nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good. And so you said May 13th? Yeah, so May 13th. Yeah, so that'll definitely be worth coming and checking out.
About a month away.
Yeah.
But with Dash's help, he can get the event booked within 8 hours.
Yeah,
Because
right.
the
yeah,
first
it's-
event that we did in December, he had to call it quits on the reservations after, I believe he said 6 hours.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
That's
he'll
our hopes
fill it
for
up quick.
Gary's event.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Yeah, he actually wanted to be here tonight, but wasn't able to make it. He had some stuff going on at the house. But, yeah, we will I'm excited to see him out here, and I know he's been out here plenty of times to hang out. And, he will be out here on the 20th, right? Or no, 13th. 13th
Well, he'll
of
be
May.
here on
yeah.
I think he has got something going on the 20th that he.
So he won't be able to make the one with Dash either?
I don't
Okay,
think
yeah.
so.
All right.
I think it's really neat that, I guess so you're literally looking in a newspaper and you saw some marketing for the area, probably I imagine from the Bay Area Houston Convention Visitors Bureau, because I remember, back in the day, back when that was really going full speed. They used to do a lot of aggressive marketing. I actually did a lot of design work for them, over the years, back when Pam Summers was still the head of it. Yeah. So where were you when you saw that? I mean, were you in Canada or no? Okay, I was going to say that would be reach.
No, we used to live in Clear Lake.
Okay. Excellent.
Off of, close to Bay Oaks. And,
sure.
My husband had already left for the airport, and I just opened the Sunday paper because I was addicted to the Sunday paper back then.
Oh, yeah.
And so now everything's on the phone.
Yeah.
So I was looking through this little flyer, and that was it.
Nice.
Yeah.
The rest
to
is
make
history.
the move from Clear
Wow.
Lake to Clear Lake. A lot of people don't realize that, Clear Lake City is not on the water. So it's interesting. Yeah.
Of course, a lot of people don't realize Clear Lake City is not really a city. But
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Not anymore.
not even all realtors realize that. But it's funny how that works.
When did it? The annex was what, like 88, 90, something like that. I know when I was born, it was still Clear Lake City. Clear Lake City Hospital was in Clear Lake City, Texas, but I think it wasn't a year or two after that, or at least the early 90s, that it got annexed.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to do some research on that. I'll be honest. I always thought it was part of Houston. I mean, people always use Clear Lake, and then some people space it out. Some people do it all one word. I mean, you see it, but it's just a master plan community inside Houston. But I guess it probably was.
Yeah, I think it definitely
kind of like King. Or
we're pretty far outside of Houston, so I think it definitely they consumed us later.
Yeah.
We were definitely an actual city. Now I don't know all the municipality logistics and all that, but
I remember
that's what I was told.
Yeah, I remember it was Mayor Lee Brown back in the day called Clear Lake the Jewel of Houston. Clear Lake City, the Jewel of Houston. And a little bit, we talked a little bit before the show about just how dynamic this area is, and just how much is going on here, whether it be aerospace, petrochemical, the ports. I mean, it's really the most dynamic area,
fishing industry,
maybe in the world.
Oyster industry.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much going on here,
and diverse too. Yeah.
Yep. And speaking of real estate, I mean, it's the real estate environment in Houston and just thriving and expanding at all times. It's so interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
and this area is growing right now. I mean, there's so much new expansion in this corridor. It's nice.
Yeah, basically, any open land is being developed. I mean, whether it be over in Alvin with the Meridiana development, master plan development. I think Alvin's had to add 2 new high schools in the last 6 years. I mean, that just shows you how much growth is going on over that way.
Pearland,
I mean, just all the land in Dickinson, obviously Lago Mar in Texas City. And I mean, this area is booming.
There used to be a big, gap. It was, you would basically Houston to Clear Lake and then Clear Lake to Galveston, but now there's so much in between both of those, more on the south of Clear Lake to where there really isn't a gap between here and Galveston anymore. It's
I mean, League City, I think it's doubled in size in the last 10 years. I mean, I remember when the story when one year, one day, the mayor of League City, I forgot what gentleman it was at the time. This is probably about 7 or 8 years ago. But they were surprised. They got a package from the Department of Public Safety. It was all the keys to the traffic lights. Because apparently once the city reaches 100,000 residents, then it's time to develop your own traffic enforcement department, your own people to actually maintain the traffic lights.
Got to buy some trucks and hire some people.
Growing pains.
Yeah, I don't think Kemah will ever have that problem.
No,
until we still have building some more high rises.
Yeah,
that's true.
Just on the way here, I noticed development,
quite a few new apartments,
and
like
absolutely
4 or 5 story tall apartments there off of 518 now. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Who knows? I mean, it could be 20,000 people before you know it. What is it right now? It's just at 10,000, or is
Gosh,
it not?
I doubt it's even that.
Just a few thousand.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I remember talking to the promoters from Houston of the original Kemah Crawfish Bash back in the day, and they were asking me about the politics, and there was a mayor election going on, and I said, you don't understand. At that point, I think Kemah only had about 3,500 residents. I said there's literally more beer taps and restaurant seats than our residents in Kemah. I mean, it's
definitely
Yeah, they were surprised that so much of it, such a small group of people, control, obviously Hughes Mayor and all that, and and how that impacts their them continuing to do the festival. So yeah, they had no idea. I think they thought Kemah was a lot bigger than it was, and it's obviously huge in a lot of ways, and it's one of the top tourist destinations in the state.
Yeah. when you say, when you say you're from Texas, you say Houston if you live outside of Houston, but the same thing within the Houston area. They don't really know Seabrook or maybe even League City or Clear Lake. Like, maybe they've heard of the Clear Lake area, but as soon as you say Kemah Boardwalk, oh yeah. I mean, they know. Everybody knows where the Kemah Boardwalk is. It's really insane, actually.
Well, it's funny. I mean, when
it's
there's
a landmark spot.
I mean, when there's nationally televised football games here with the Texans, I remember that sometimes the halftime show will show the Kemah Board. I guarantee you, there'll always be a photo of the Kemah Boardwalk.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah, they'll show.
Like the background, during halftime shows.
They'll show Johnson Space Center, and then they'll show Kemah, and then the stadium. It's definitely one of the prides. They'll show Galveston, something down there, probably Pleasure Pier.
Right. Yeah.
Interesting.
I was on the phone this afternoon with a gentleman that called to make a reservation for the cabins.
Yeah.
And I was taking down his address, and he said he lived in Cypress.
Okay.
And I said, well, I live in Kemah. He said, you're in Kemah? He said, I'm in Kemah right now. And I said, really? He said, yeah, I'm buying some fish over at Rosie's.
Oh, yeah, at the fish market.
Yeah, so it's kind of like when you travel international and you say you're from Houston, they say, oh, go Astros.
Yeah,
so it's kind of nice if people know where Kemah's at.
No, definitely. Yeah, and the fact that it is such a big fish market that people drive from Cypress to pick up their fresh fish or their shrimp. I mean...
Crawfish, that's what he
calls
it.
Crawfish.
Yeah, so all the way from Cypress. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dedication right there.
They got a lot of oyster boats and shrimp boats, and, I mean, there's definitely a lot of fishing in Galveston Bay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. Huge industry. Okay, well, is there anything else that's been like a really funny story or anything exciting, anything in the past? I mean, this is such a. I'm curious a little bit more about the house and the bed and breakfast aspect. I mean, how many people have you had? People they've stayed. I guess they stay the night and then everything's set up the next morning. How many people have you accommodated in the past? Like groups, families.
When we first started. When we first opened to the public as a bed and breakfast, we had 4 rooms, but we could sleep up to 12 people.
Okay.
Because the house upstairs has a loft and a media room, and we had 2 beds in there. So we could sleep up to 12 people. And our weekend wedding packages was the couple could come in on Friday afternoon and stay through the weekend and check out by noon on Sunday.
Okay.
But not everybody could afford that $10,000 plus package.
Right.
And that was just for them to be here for the weekend. It did not include our services, no food, no tables, no chairs. They were completely DIY.
Right.
And over the years, because I had a full-time job at that time, because we opened to the public in July of 2008, and I didn't come to start running the property until March of 2010. And so little by little, because we still had agreements with couples to be here for the weekend, we had to move out every Friday and then move back in on Monday or Sunday night.
You're right.
And it just became very, very cumbersome. And so over the years, we decided no more overnight. Plus, it's not very private. My husband sometimes would have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to catch a flight to New Orleans, a 6 a.m. flight. I sometimes worked till 2 in the morning. When we were having to take all of our catering stuff that we use, we had to take it in the house to wash it until we got running water over here.
Yeah.
That we could do the dishes and everything that we needed for the catering part of our events. And, if we have somebody spending the night on their honeymoon, we don't want to be in their space at 2 o'clock in the morning. So that's why we refer a lot of our couples and their family and friends to the South Shore Harbor, to the Boardwalk Inn, Holiday Inn, now the Marriott, the Spring Hill Suites, some of the other smaller properties.
A lot of good options around here, plenty of hotels.
But soon you'll be able to refer them to your own place, with the expansion.
And so my next plan is to add a few more cozy cottages on the property.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit before the show.
To be able to accommodate more.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah, 4+ acres to play with. Yeah. Nice.
Imagine how many cozy cottages we can
right? Very cool.
Yeah, very nice. Well, okay. I mean,
So 2008. So, yeah, that's what I. When you said that, that's what I thought. So literally a month or two before Ike, I guess you took this over.
Well, we moved here in July of 2007. It
Okay.
took us a whole year to get the property ready. By the time we got the fire alarm, the alarm that calls the fire department or the police if we have a situation. By the time we got the permits, credit card reservations, by the time the phone started ringing, because it takes time for people to know you exist. So
Sure.
it doesn't happen overnight. Yeah.
Our first full reservations was 4th of July weekend of 2008. Our first wedding was Thanksgiving weekend of 2008. We had 3 weddings on the books when Ike came through this area, and 1 couple canceled, and the other 2 moved forward. One of them was over Thanksgiving weekend, and then the other one was for March of the following year. But Ike was really good to us because Ike went around this property.
Nice.
The Extreme
Okay.
Makeover house is just one
Yeah.
block
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
And they were flooded, but we weren't.
Oh wow.
And so 3 days after the storm came through here, the young lady that was helping me out was working for a real estate agent in Kemah, and she had done some work for FEMA. So she went and posted the property on Craigslist, that the property was available for overnight stay. And we had a insurance company out of South Carolina that rented the house for 45 days.
Okay.
So we had to completely move out. We bought a travel trailer, moved into the barn. We lived there for 9 months,
Oh wow.
just because it was easier for me to live there and not have to move in and out.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
we had those agreements that included use of the home for the entire weekend. And then, and then Harvey came through here. But again, we were blessed to have had no issues.
Yeah, Harvey was good to this side of town. Yeah, Harvey was in the city. Oof, yeah.
Well, and Dickinson, and I mean, lots of different. It was just so random who got hit hard, and who didn't, and
fair enough. I guess
no,
I was in Clear Lake City at the time, and
Yeah.
it just didn't really do much there. Yeah, I mean, Nassau Bay got slammed.
Nassau Bay,
so,
Dickinson, even parts of El Lago. So
that's true.
Yeah. It's we've been tested.
Yeah.
This area's been tested, but we keep standing, man. We're resilient.
And the windows keep having to be thicker and thicker for commercial use. So we're prepared. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I think the last quote I got on Windows, literally, this is going to be so funny. You remember how I want to blow out the corner?
Yeah.
Literally, I mean, it's like a 10 by 10 foot area. They quoted me $25,000 to make those windows. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So, wow, these things have to be bulletproof in Seabrook, you know.
That was my original plan for this building, to have glass completely all around like Landry's.
Yeah, but when Landry's put it in, it was 1/10 of the price.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So after we got the pricing, we had to do some adjustments.
Yeah,
And
well,
that's
I
why-
wouldn't
it's
even
heavily.
have,
I mean,
I wouldn't even been able to tell. It would have almost been maybe too much windows. This is really
this is
lovely.
perfect. Yeah, I mean, you
so-
can see in 3 different directions for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so I think it worked out in that way.
So
but-
I got rid of the stress of dealing with the dust getting into the building.
Yep,
Now I
yep.
got to deal with the stress of keeping the
Windows
clean.
clean.
Yeah. No,
Always
exactly.
something.
I know it.
Always something. Yeah. Well, and what you said at the beginning of the show is just so true in my mind. There's getting the business done, and then there's marketing the business, and it's hard to do both. I mean, because if you go market it, then nobody's actually doing what needs to be done. On site. Yeah. So it's a tough.
Marketing's a full-time job. Yeah, no doubt.
Or it can't. Yeah, I mean, it's never ending, right? I mean, you can.
Yeah.
There's always more marketing that can be done, more seeing people, more getting in front of people. But then,
You
if
only
you're
have so much
marketing
time in the day.
you got to get,
Yeah.
I mean, that used to be the thing at the brewery. People used to always say, why aren't you guys at more events? I said, well, somebody needs to brew the beer.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd love to go to all these events every weekend, but man, we got to brew the beer.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
People think I should be jet surfing everywhere, and I'm like, dude, like it's how much goes into just a day of jet surfing. You just can't be in 7 places at once jet surfing. It's a whole thing, and it's just you should be here, there, everywhere. It's like it's not real, like. Yeah, no, I mean, marketing really is something that can take a lot of your time, and it's an art trying to figure that out and, really dial it in. I have to say, though, I feel like a lot of people have talked about this place and heard about it and know the name Kingman Gardens.
Absolutely.
So I'm not sure, what all you've done marketing, but, starting in 2008, like I said, I mean, I came back in 2016, and I've been well aware of this venue since 2016. So there's definitely something that's worked, and we've had a lot of people talk about it, and I've known a lot of people that have actually done different events here over the years. So, something's working.
It all starts with a great event or great venue.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're expanding, and you're opening new things, and like you said, from where you started and where you're at now, and so I mean, there's more to offer now, and so that's cool, and you'll start bringing in more public stuff than private stuff we've talked about. So I like that.
When I first started doing weddings, I come from an accounting world. Never thought that I'd be a wedding planner. But people would ask me, well, how many weddings have you done? Well, of course, that was something we all like to brag. Oh, well, I've done 200 events, or, we did 50 last year. I've done 3 in one day, because that is the reality. I did 3 weddings in one day.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
5
man.
in one weekend.
Wow,
of course,
that is
two small ones, one in the morning, one midday, and then a full scale in the evening. So that's how we are able to help the couples that have a smaller budget.
Sure.
Because not everybody's looking for that full scale Cinderella, over the top type event.
You've got an option for everybody, every budget.
We do, and
which is important. It is important.
Now,
huge.
I tell them, I said, I don't know. I probably did 20 last year, but because for me, I get very involved with the planning of our events. I'm out here with my team, sweeping, mopping, moving tables, setting the linens. I'm up here with my team at the end of the event, again, cleaning up, having the room ready for church.
Yeah.
And if I start delegating all of that to other people, then I'm no longer involved in the business and what I enjoy doing. And I feel extremely blessed that my husband and I have no biological children, but here I get to be a mother, I get to be a mentor, a sister to some of the couples, the younger ones, or the ones that are about my age. I feel like I'm the mother to the young bride who's getting married.
Yeah, and I think they take notice, the customers and the staff, that you're involved and that you care and that you're part of it. That matters.
Food. I step in to help at the bar. I cut and serve the cake, and I sometimes am the florist. I'm their photographer. I've had to sew a couple of brides into their dress because as we were zipping them up, the zipper broke, and I get to sometimes make the day, and my husband gets mad at me because I'm a hoarder. I save all the cardboards and ribbons and this and that, and I say, you don't understand. I've had a need to bring out
you've seen it all.
A boutonniere because they forgot to order one for the pastor or for the groom. And they think about the groomsmen, but not for the groom. How that happened, I don't know. But
you had them covered, so
Yes.
yeah, nice.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm excited to see, I'm excited to be here for Gary's event. And, as far as I know, I don't have anything on the books for being here for Dash's event. And so I'm excited to come out and kind of hang out with the group of people in the festivities. It's been nice hanging out with you kind of on a personal level tonight and hearing about the business.
You can come as my date because my husband's not going to be.
Boom, there you go.
Okay,
awesome.
Yeah. I'll have to talk to Alyssa about that. But, yeah. No, but it's been really nice hearing a little bit about your story and how you built this amazing venue. And again, Thank you so much for having us out here and letting us talk about it and tell everyone in this area to come out here and enjoy it if they haven't been out here. So we really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Anybody that wants to come see it, call me.
Yeah.
My number is 281-827-4284. Or send me an email to events@Kemah Gardens, and I'd be glad to show them around, even if they're not planning an event for themselves.
Yeah, of
Maybe
course.
they know someone.
And, I can foresee maybe a little small Weekends on the Water, maybe beer garden thing in the future. So we'll get that on the calendar. Count me down for some type of wine tasting thing. I think that would be really cool.
And Dash as the chef, because
Yeah.
he says he has to prove it.
Oh,
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't remember him talking about
Put
that.
him to the
but,
test.
yeah,
I could see
okay,
it.
Yeah.
He's a talented superhero. I bet
That's right,
he's
that's
quite the
right.
chef. Yeah. And with a good heart, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, again, Syria, thank you so much for
Yes,
having
thank
us
you.
on.
Thanks
and,
for doubling as both our guest and our host.
and our host. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, we love getting out of the studio and coming on site. So, it's been amazing.
Especially unique venues like this.
Well,
Yeah.
even if I'm not here, you're welcome back.
Oh, well, thank you
Do your
so
podcast.
much.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
No, for sure.
And make sure to check out KemahGardens.com. That's that, look at the photos and check out, there's aerial photos, and you get to see really how it really is kind of a little hidden paradise right in the middle of Kemah.
Yeah, I think my photos don't compare to the website. When you see the groups of people and the festivities and the action, you can really see how fun it is. So, yeah, cool. Well, again, thank you so much, and I think we'll leave it there, and we'll definitely be back out here soon. So,
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good night.
Good
all
night.
right, bye.
It's Weekends on the Water,
Thanks for listening to today's show.
the official podcast of the waterfront capital of Texas.
Sponsored by Water. Water. Much better than drinking sand.
Weekends on the Water. No, well, doesn't make you Weekends on the Water. With Jordan Davlin of Jet Surf Houston and Scene Magazine publisher John Ennis.